Good evening. It's April the 7th. This will be a little different. It's an evening walk, and I'm starting downtown because I just had supper down here. And why did I have supper down here? Well, I was kind of celebrating the fact that the Kickstarter ended today, and I made it. That's the Kickstarter to fund my Shapers of Worlds Volume 2, Volume 3 Kickstarter, featuring science fiction and fantasy authors who were guests on my podcast, The World Shapers. And it finished this morning at 10 o'clock my time, noon Eastern Daylight Time, and funded at 15,200. My actual goal was 12,000 Canadian, so it's looking up Hamilton Street there to downtown. It'll get darker, obviously, as I walk home, but I thought I'd take a little bit of a walk down here because it's a different time of night and it looks nice as the evening closes in. I was just at a restaurant here in the second of the hill towers. That's the hill tower there. Look up, look way up. The TD Bank building there. It also has condos in it, which is kind of unfortunate because it's supposed to be like a, what was the guy's name? Mills? No, gee. Well, I did have some wine with dinner, so that's probably why I can't remember. But this here is Hamilton Street in the evening. It's quite quiet, as you can see. This building used to be, at one point, it was the newspaper building, the Leader Post building, or the Leader building. Now it's got a dress shop in the bottom, and I don't know what else is in it. Various offices. This is the Lancaster. Used to be called Capitol, I think. Used to be a jazz club. I'm not sure they call that anymore. This is Colin O'Brien's, where I buy many an item of clothing. Hello, Kofi. That's the FCC building there, I guess. What that one's called. Well, actually, that's Jessica Sure here. Dress shop once you get by Colin O'Brien. That's the HSBC building. Hi, Miriam. Someone asked me a while ago if I would do another evening walk, so I decided since I was down here, I would do that. It's always pretty in the evening. Little public art there in the form of flying geese. That's the Alvin Hamilton building beyond it, which is a federal government building. Over here is the Royal Bank building. I'm just going to kind of do a loop here and then we'll go back down Scar Street. Looking back the other way down Hamilton Street here. Walking west here towards the setting sun. Down at the end, that dome kind of blocking, what looks like it's blocking the end of the street, if you can see it, is actually Mosaic Stadium. That's the main Royal Bank building. That's where I do my banking. CIBC over here, so it's kind of, there used to be a bank on all four corners, but not anymore. Starbucks over there, but it's closed this time of evening. H&M over there. The forbidding looking alley down that way. Yoga Mallet is in there too. There's a number of things in here, including Globe Theatre, which is currently undergoing renovations. This is the old post office building, and then for a while it was City Hall. And over there is the Cornwall Centre shopping mall, coming into view. Lots of bus stops down that way. You know, I've been in there during the daytime. That's the former post office and then City Hall. This is the Scar Street Mall, which is a pedestrian mall. No traffic. some of the older buildings in town. Over here, the Northern Bank, it used to be, but not for a long time. It's, what time is it? Coming up on 8 o'clock here, I guess. Everything looks better in the evening. It's actually a gem up there. All the lights are on. Over here you have a walkway that's on the other side of those awnings, so that in the wintertime you don't have to go outside to get into those buildings. Those stores, you can just walk down the hallway there. It's an Indian restaurant there. Here's the Fat Badger, which is a pub. Nails place. You often get these walkways between buildings as well. So these are the twin towers here. Look up. Coffee shop over there. Good Earth. This is a Joe Fafard sculpture of referencing the fact that Regina was once known as Pile of Bones, the place where the bones were buried from buffalo hunters. Going down this way, over here is City Center, it's called. The place with the lightsabers, I always think of them as. Maybe I'll go this way. Of course, that's Victoria Park. And on the other side of Victoria Park is the Hotel Saskatchewan, where I often have lunch. You can see why I think of these as lightsabers. That's City Hall directly in front of us. A little public art here. I don't know what it's called. It must have a name. What's it called? Oh, that's not what it's called. Oh, there's a whole bunch of text there which I've never read and I'm not going to at this point. But up here there's art, public art. I guess that's what that is. This was a skating rink over here in the wintertime behind those hay bales. And we have these light fixtures, which are, I don't know what you call those. This is Cornwall Street here. That's the SGI building, the gold one down there, and then the Cornwall Center again at the end of the street. There's another bank building here. More lightsabers. This is where the farmers market is, and we'll be starting up before you know it, actually. They're set up here. If we look back again, there's the buildings catching the light. The world needs your light, I think it says. That sculpture there. My hands are actually colder than I thought they'd be tonight. Everything looks better at this time of night because you get the interesting reflections in the glass and the colors are more interesting and you get the light shining through the windows. It's like a tourism spot here. And over there is the Regina Public Library, which I once was writer-in-residence at. It's a government office building over there. And it's open, as one would expect. It's quite a nice building, but they've talked about building a new one. It's pretty small. Saskatoon's getting a new public library. This is the Masonic Temple of all things over here. All cities had those at one time of a fairly good size. In fact, we'll cross over there if I can without getting run over. There's City Hall again, and the silvery building there is Revenue Canada. I think I'll go through the alley. I've walked that way quite often. I haven't walked this way very often. So when I was writer in residence, oh, and there's a snowshoe hare. They pop up in the most unexpected places. When I was writer in residence 10 years ago now, this is where I would go in. They're actually having a writer in residence retrospective soon at the library that I'll be part of. Knox Metropolitan United Church over there, from a different angle than I normally see it from. Here you can kind of see the structure of the library. It's interesting. It's a very interesting building. They didn't ask me, but I approve. As you can see, downtown Regina is fairly deserted come evening. Be a little creepy when it gets dark. That's just the City Hall parkade over there, where I used to park when I worked at City Hall, because I did that in 1994 for 6 months as filling in for somebody on adoption leave as a communications officer. Those lights up there are supposed to be on entirely, but they've got several burned out. It's supposed to look like a golden crown on top of the building. Let's go this way, because I've never walked down this alley, I don't think. You can see this kind of golden light effect is what they're going for. And it's supposed to, if you look up there, it's supposed to repeat up there all the way around the building, but there's some burned out on this side. It's just the parkade for City Hall. There's the lights that make the golden effect. It is pretty tonight, isn't it? Because the sky is clear and the sun is just fading. Sky colors are interesting, but the lights are coming on, makes everything look different than they would during the daytime. Even the rather boring parkade looks interesting with the lights on. More gold lights. My hands are much colder than I thought they'd be. I didn't bring my gloves tonight. That's the YWCA over there. So I guess I'll go this way. Nothing much to see that way. Might walk along 13th. It's always good for a walk at night. Carry on along the City Hall here. That's the YWCA there. And then the North Canadian Oils building there. NCO building. It's not hot here, it's close to freezing. I'll take a little turn in front of City Hall. Just because I can. I'm kind of stretching this out anyway, because if I walk straight home, it's only about 20 minutes. So here's the front of City Hall. Even up there on the front side, there's a light burned out in the crown. Must be hard to replace. You must come at them from the top. Here's the main entrance. Look, it even says right there, City Hall. Again, over there is the Canada Revenue Building, the tax people. And of course there's flags, because this is City Hall, and there's various sculptures and things representing this and that. I thought that's an actual goose there in the dry fountain. I don't know what he's looking for. There's no water there. He looks like a sculpture, but he's a real goose. What is this one? No, it's actually too hard to read. I can't even tell you. I love Regina. This one over here, so I'm very much mistaken. That's just about the city, I guess. Again, it's hard to read in this light. With this fellow sitting here looking cold. So that's kind of the City Hall Plaza, I guess you'd call all this. That's the courthouse across the street. Well, I guess I'll go this way. Too surprised, low battery warning. Don't know why people wear masks when they're outside. Never understood that for the entire length of the pandemic. Looking west, down Victoria. Looking east, down Victoria. Some old stones from the original courthouse, back when Victoria was still queen. Courthouse, told you so. That used to be the Salvation Army over there, but it's a law firm now, I think. It's actually darker than it looks, of course. The phone adjusts for the darkness and makes it look lighter than it actually is. Credit Union Central over there. The next street down here is 13th. And I'll walk along it over to the other side because there's lots of stores and things, so it always looks cool at night or in the evening. It's not quite night yet, but getting there. Oof! Most annoying thing is we're having intermittent internet outages at the house. It was off yesterday. Got up this morning and it was working, and then, I don't know, about 4 o'clock. Oh, goodness. I couldn't even see them, but I can certainly hear them. I think they're working on mating. We'll leave them to it, shall we? Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. I'm enjoying an evening walk here, and the lighting is cool. Bit lonely. Mostly I'm the only person to be seen. Big mural on the side of that one, as you can see. This is where my dentist used to be, but that was a long time ago. Let's take a look at the mural. It's fairly Picasso-ish, I guess, or something. I feel like I'm being looked at. This is the Credit Union Central over here. Again, I've never walked along this piece of road before, so. In fact, I don't think I've ever been in Credit Union Central. This building. I've been in one office, the Group Medical Services office is here. I think I've been in there. But other than that, not really. There's number 1 fire hall. Somebody else wearing a mask outside. I just don't get that. Number 1 fire hall, as I said. Looking more interesting in the dark. We're going to go down 13th here, where there's more interesting lit up establishments. Although the sky is not as bright as it's making it look there. Oh, I'm stuck though. Well, that's annoying. I guess I'll wait. That's just a strip mall there. While looking down Albert that way. Probably could have made it, but I didn't try. And looking up Albert, the other way. Still only a 20-minute walk. This won't be a very long walk. I actually walked longer, but I didn't live stream the first part of the walk when I came downtown. See the Viterra sign lit up on that building. Over there is Viet Thai, our favorite local, you might guess, Vietnamese and Thai restaurant. Yeah, this was really bad timing getting here. Still, I suppose it's, evening in Regina. This is what it looks like. There goes the yellow. We should get a green here in a minute. There we go. So that's the strip mall. It's got a Subway in it, and that Circle K there, which I've often gotten not often, but sometimes gotten sandwiches in. A few other things. Up here on the left is Artesian, which used to be a church, but is now a performing arts space. There's this side of Viet Thai over there. Coffee shop there, but it's closed this time of night. Apartment over there next to what's coming up. The Heritage Regina 2022 lecture series is ongoing up until May 5th at the Artesian here. When I was on the board of Golden Apple Theater, and Golden Apple Theater was still a viable operation, this was our go-to place for performances. And I've had a book launch in the basement there, which has a nice lounge. I might do one there again. It's a nice place. Also, it has a bar, so it's always nice to be able to offer alcohol from a place that already has the license, so you don't have to worry about it. It's the shoe clinic over there. Next to it is the Crafts Council Gallery, I think. I usually walk on that side where you can kind of see in the windows better, but anyway, I'm over here today. Sniffle. This is Burns Hanley, the Christian bookstore, coming up on my left. Paper Umbrella over there is a stationery store. Cup of tea, and then you have the New Age bookstore next to it, right across from the Christian bookstore, which I always think is funny. Up there, Burns Hanley. Bible, church supplies, gifts, jewelry, music, book, candles. A little bit of public art. This is another coffee shop restaurant place. I don't know if it's open. It has a very purple light inside. Very bright lights on this side. More of a coffee shop, I think. It's probably not open. But there's a ice cream stand next to it that gets quite a bit of business. Yeah, they're closed. They close at 5. Here's our pretty new liquor store over there. It's been nice to have one in the neighborhood when you need a bottle of wine at the last minute. It's nice to have one close by. Not much selection because it's small, but still. It's open. Campbell Halliburton Insurance. I'll walk on down a little further even though this is my street. Just stretch it out. Motor license issuer, Land of Living Sky, is actually pretty much washed out in the screen, it looks like. That's the neighborhood center over there. And over here is Safeway, which is where we do most of our grocery shopping. Also Scotiabank, but we're not Scotiabank users, so we don't use it. But this is where we are every Saturday, buying on our groceries. been a Safeway here forever. It was an old one, and then they greatly expanded it a few years ago. That's a pet store over there, Metro. No, what's it called? Cathedral Pet Stop. Well, boring. It looks closed. Used to be a music store, but that's long gone. And then down here on the corner is Mercury Cafe, which is a diner kind of place. Has a rocket ship on top of it, which I always appreciate as a science fiction writer. I'm going to turn down here. This over here is Brandy's convenience store that also has a post office in it. So I do a lot of mailing there. Some of the Kickstarter fulfillment will happen from Brandy's there. This is the fish store, Pacific Fresh Fish, which is where we buy a lot of fish. Another look at the grocery store. And there's a hair salon here, I think, is what this is. And then you get some more food places. There's a pub here. I've only been into once, Shannon's. They have music playing, so I guess they're open. Shannon's Pub and Grill. Hardly ever been in there. Another hair place. The Takeaway Gourmet here, we've often bought, we think of it as a cheese shop, but it has other stuff too. We've often bought cheese in there. It's a nice place. And the owner is an MLA and a good friend of my niece's. That's the chocolate shop. That's the bakery. They're both closed. Orange is a sort of Japanese and Korean restaurant I've been in. Butcher Boy Meats is where we get our meats. They're closed at the moment. That's kind of it for the commercial stuff, and then it moves into other things. There's a few more offices, but then it goes into residential up here. Oh, they're getting ready to clean the streets. Means we'll have to get our cars off the street at some point soon. So some of these are houses and some have been businesses. I think about here they turn into houses. Oh, here's one for sale too, if you're looking. It's kind of dark to see it right now. I mentioned before that our piano used to live in that apartment on the top floor. Our grand piano belonged to Madame Burkett. She was one of the early voice teachers in Regina. She couldn't stand to have anybody living over top of her, so she lived on the top floor of that apartment, which meant when she moved back to England and my grandparents-in-law bought the piano, it had to come down these stairs. It's been in our living room ever since, including when we did the major renovations. They just built a box around it and rolled it around as needed as they worked in the living room. This is actually a senior's home, I think. No, these are apartments. The senior's home is somewhere else. These are just apartments. Those are condos over there. We checked one out when we were buying, but the floor had a decided slant to it, enough that if you dropped something in the kitchen, you would always know where to find it. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. Also, stairs. 3 flights of stairs in order to take your groceries up. And we knew we'd be switching places with my aged mother-in-law at some point, and she would not have been able to manage the stairs, so it was never a serious consideration. There's several of these here, apartments. It's getting darker all the time. It does that in the evening. You may have noticed. It's this thing called night. It happens every day. Amazing, really. Ooh, you can look right into that one. I'm hoping that my internet has magically come back on while I've been out, but I doubt it has. I'll have to rely on my hotspot at least until the technician comes on Sunday, and hopefully he can figure out what's going on, because the previous technician didn't. He replaced the gateway, but the problem continues. So I think it's in the drop. I think it's in the connection out to the alley. Probably where the problem lies, but I'm not the expert. Got a big one there in that corner. Let's see, what street am I on? Robinson? So this will actually connect me to Leopold, not to Angus, which is fine. No, wait, it'll connect me to Connaught. Right, to Connaught. Well, that's fine too. Number of houses here, clearly all built at roughly the same time. They were more interesting than the Christmas light tour that I did of the neighborhood. But there's something always inviting about lights on porches. Makes you feel that there's something warm and family-like happening inside when the lights are on. A lot of them are dark, though. People out, I guess. Leave a light in the window, as the saying goes. Got a nice front porch. And people in the backyard in that one, it sounds like. So yes, this means they're going to be sweeping the streets from 4 a.m. Tuesday. So you have to get your car off the street. How long has this walk been so far? 30-some minutes. It'll be a bit longer yet. That's a brand new one there. It's all looking like silhouettes now as the Foam finally decided, hey, it's dark out here. This is College Avenue. Is this a four-way stop? No, it's not. It's just a two-way. Important to know. I'm going to go down the other side because I might stretch this out by walking around the schoolyard when I get down there. The sky's gotten quite dark blue now. Looking to the west, sun's pretty much gone. That was nicely lit up. This is Connaught Crescent, which is really a half crescent. Leopold is the big one. Then you get Angus, and then you get Connaught, which is the shortest and is interrupted by the schoolyard, Davin School. So you have the little house next to the big house, big new house. Very blue door. Also, some of these sit at an angle because they're on a crescent, so you get these ones which are kind of on an angle. Gives them a big front yard. And then you hit the schoolyard, which I think I will walk around just to stretch this out a little bit further. Our house is over there, but I'm going to go this way around the school. Because the former Sastel building over there, it's not anymore. Looks kind of cool, the lighting at this time of night. And this is Davin School. They now call it the Crescent School, but I'm going to call it Davin because I don't care about what they call it. It was Davin when my daughter went there, therefore it's Davin forever. Take that. In fact, maybe I'll walk around the back of it. I don't know. Might run into some water if I do that. Maybe I'll stay out here. Also, this way you can see the front of it. Davin School. Where my daughter went for 9 years, I guess, kindergarten through grade 8. Hard to believe. 9 years went by. It seems like it went by in no time at all. Which is the distressing thing as you get older. What seemed like it would be forever is suddenly over. Kids all grown up. And then you're dead. Well, maybe not for a few years yet, I hope. We have the birds at university. There's the front of the school. Of course, it's closed and locked, but it does still say Davin School up there, whatever they want to call it. Here you can kind of see inside it. I cut across the grass. I think it's probably dry enough. Ooh, dark. Especially after looking at those lights. We'll walk up here and then go down either Angus Crescent or the alley. I don't know what's going on up there. It's a very striking light up there in the... I've seen it somewhere else. I presume it has something to do with growing something, like some sort of plants are probably growing in there. I've seen it in another house over on McCallum, I think, is where that is. There's an apartment building here, and then again, that taller building there is the second Sastel building. Now just an office building. Sastel has a building downtown where my wife works, and she's an engineer for Sastel. Still a few Christmas lights hanging on here and there. You can see some there, and there's some over here too. There's College in Albert. But I think I've stretched this out as long as I feel like it, so we will go around the corner and go down Angus Crescent, like I normally do when I'm coming home from downtown. Terry. Hello, Terry. Well, somebody asked me not too long ago if I'd do another evening walk, and it happened that I was downtown having supper, and I walked down there because why wouldn't I? It's 20 minutes. And I thought, well, I'll just combine that and walk back, stretch it out a little bit here as I walk. So whoever it was that asked me for another evening walk, here it is. The things I do for my fans. Still a few Christmas lights, as I said. We only recently turned ours off, I admit. Oh, what are they watching on TV? Looks like a screensaver, actually. I like that house because of the turret. Think of castles. Being a fantasy writer, I like castles. Also a science fiction writer. I like spaceships and castles. If that seems contradictory, well, tough. I could probably brighten it up if I wonder if it's been in focus at all this time. I never checked that, but it should have been. Didn't really change the exposure when I did that. There are parts of the city I wouldn't walk in at night, but around here I'm not too worried. There's Davin over there again. It's nicely lit up. This one, you can see inside it. It's nicely lit up as well. Ours is probably lit up because I don't usually turn off the lights when I go out, just so it looks like somebody's home. And there's something about those yellow lights glowing in the windows that just seems homey and pleasant and welcoming. Some Christmas lights happening over here still. Or just lights because it's still dark, and why not have some lights? We have lights in our backyard that we turned them on back when we put the lights on the bush, and they've been on ever since. Although soon we may lose that bush because of the construction work we're doing back there. We're hoping we can save it, but the construction guy says you might have to take it down. I hope we can avoid that. Again, have Davin School down there. Sorry, I just realized there was somebody else there. I can't read the name because my eyes aren't working very well. Rolana? Hello from Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica. No, she went to Veronica. That's an old joke. My wife just came back from a Caribbean vacation. Jamaica? No, she went of her own accord. But it's from a show I did years ago. I think the joke went back to the Second World War, so it is an oldie. I've never been to the Caribbean, Jamaica, or anywhere else. Some Christmassy stuff potentially still going there. It's all lit up. All right, well, I will stop here. So thanks for walking with me, either live or if you're watching the replay, the instant replay. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back going around the lake. So bye for now.